Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to continue on already established protocols. I welcome you back after the tea break to this launch event of the Nigeria SE for All platform. My name is Duke Benjamin, and I head the Nigerian Energy Support Program, which is a technical assistance program co-funded by the European Union and the German government. The program is implemented by GIZ in close collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Power. And the aim of the program is to foster a domestic market for investment in renewable energy and energy efficiency, as well as rural electrification in Nigeria. For those of us, or for those that are just joining us, you are welcome. We have already had the opening remarks by the Permanent Secretary Power and the goodwill messages from various dignitaries, and also a keynote speech from the Honorable Minister of Power, followed by the ribbon cutting by the Minister of Power and the country director GIZ and Nigeria and ECOWAS. Ladies and gentlemen, the platform being launched today is a key milestone of the Nigeria Sustainable Energy for All initiative commenced by the Federal Ministry of Power, in collaboration with the Nigeria Energy Support Program, which I had mentioned. This platform aims to offer the most accurate data and latest tools that empower data-driven electrification planning for Nigeria. I will now invite Engineer Farouk Yabo, the Director of Renewable Energy and Rural Power Access Department of the Federal Ministry of Power, to join me to conduct the technical launch. We will be giving you a short overview on the website, which will be updating you on Nigerian power sector developments and live indication of the data gathered. The web map, which will be giving you an overview of the distribution grid and assists you in finding potential mini-grid locations in Nigeria. The web map as well will contain the data manager, which will allow you to download and edit layers of the web map. And finally, the mini-grid monitor, which will show you all mini-grids on the platform and give you access to monitoring data of the developments of the mini-grids in Nigeria. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, kindly give us your attention for the next 20 minutes to give you a broad overview of the platform. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending the technical launch tour of the Nigerian SE4All website. My name is Engineer Farouk Yusuf Yabo, Director of Renewables and Rural Power Access at the Federal Ministry of Power. I also serve as the national focal point and the head of the Nigerian SE4All initiative. Following the ribbon cutting event by the Honorable Minister of Power, and to commemorate the launch, I will now present the Nigeria SE4All platform website, web map, data manager, and the central data management system as a live launch event. After the technical launch tour of the main website, I will hand over to Duke Benjamin of GIZ's Nigeria's Energy Support Program, who will give us a technical tour launch of the mini-grid monitor, which we are also launching today. We'll begin with the technical launch of the website landing page. This landing page provides links to all other components of the Nigerian SE4All initiative. From here, it is possible to get an overview of the platform goals and see up-to-date statistics about the status of data collection activities which are ongoing. For the website landing page, you can navigate to the other platform pages, for example, displaying the information about the tools or the web map or the mini-grid monitor. We will now explore the website to see how it looks. You will first enter the landing page of the Nigerian SE4All. Here you will see clearly the main platform goals, which are as follows: to deliver data-driven electrification insight with the most accurate data and tools that enable better electrification planning in Nigeria. This means that we can provide accurate data to be downloaded in the raw format. We also create tools from that data to make data analysis faster, which you will see in the web map sections of this tour. Scrolling down the page, you will see some introduction text welcoming you to the platform and providing a background as to why the Nigerian SE4All initiative is required. We believe that ground truth data will enable the Nigerian power sector to achieve our electricity Vision 30-30-30 objectives. When you go further down the page, you are shown how the Nigerian CPOL initiative is relevant to your role in the energy sector. Clicking the arrows will take you between the features of the project developer, government, or the general public. For the developer, particularly mini-grid developers, we hope to facilitate the identification of investment opportunities. For the government stakeholders, we provide tools that enable tracking of electrification progress at the village level. And finally, for the general public, we aim to provide the platform to get involved with electrification development in Nigeria. Scrolling further down the web page, we can see some overview figures showing how much data we have currently collected as part of the Nigerian CPOL initiative. We focus on electrification data set. This means where the grid is or medium voltage lines are, and compare this to where people are, which is settlement location data set. To date, we have tracked over 50,000 kilometers of medium voltage electricity grid, and we have mapped over 3,000 settlements which contain over 2.6 million buildings. We are still in the process of collecting more data, so you can expect these numbers to increase in coming months. By following the social media channels, you will be notified when these updates are completed and data for new states in Nigeria has been added. Continuing further down the web page, we see a link to the web map, which displays the analysis of all data we have collected. It does provide a means to search through the data without having to download the raw data set. We will take a closer look into this later in this technical launch. We also provide transparent descriptions of how the data displayed in the web map is collected. Links to these sections can be found in the Use Our Tool section. Access this by clicking Tools in the menu bar at the top of the page, or alternatively, click on one of the 4 tools buttons. The first tool button section titled Number 1 Cluster Identification will explain how we develop a cluster data set for the entire country. The second section, Number 2 on Grid Mapping, explains how we collect the grid data set, whereas the third section, Mapping with OSM, explain how we map the settlement at building levels. Finally, the fourth section, Survey Tools, explains our approach to collecting data via the on-site survey. The on-site survey work has partially been on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic at the moment. Further explain the objectives of the Nigerian CPOL also in the separate page, which can be accessed with the green button titled Explore Objectives. The final section of the landing page will link to the mini-grid monitoring dashboard. Here, users can view select data set about operational mini-grids in Nigeria, which is made open to the general public. To go to the dashboard, click on Explore Dashboard green button. Duke Benjamin will conduct a technical launch of the mini-grid monitor after this session. But for now, we will go back to the web map and explore the detailed data collected as well as its functionalities. The first time you go to the web map, you will get the option to watch the introductory video. This will explain the web map in detail. It is recommended to watch this video before undertaking any analysis with this data set. For the technical launch, I will take you through the web map in a slightly less detailed. When you first arrive on the web map, you see the whole Nigeria as an overview. States where more data is available are highlighted in green. For more information about how we collect this data set, you can attend the relevant workshop in the afternoon session of this launch event. This session is run by consultants who have undertaken the data collection activities. Information about the data set and how it's been collected is also available via the web map. Simply click on the information icon on the left panel next to the relevant layer. You can now explore a state in more details by clicking on it from the web map or selecting the state drop-down menu available in the side panel. For this launch, we will now look in details at Nasarawa State as an example for this launch tower. In this state level, you can filter the settlements shown in blue by different criteria. The settlements shown in blue will be visible when we have marked buildings in the state. To demonstrate the filtering capabilities, we can do an example of filter. By filtering locations greater than 10 kilometers from the medium voltage grid with greater than 1,000 buildings, the results are displayed in the web map. It can be seen in this case the result is 37 settlements. This number is shown above the filter. To see more about the settlements, including building counts and density, simply click on the settlement. Here you can see that for settlements in blue, each individual building has been marked given detailed data. In the Browse the Settlement box, you can look through settlements to see filtered locations. For more information about the map settlements and how we map the 2.7 million upgrade buildings in Nigeria, you can attend the relevant workshops later this afternoon. More information is also contained within the About This Map page, including information about data license and links to describe each data set in more detail. This page can be accessed by clicking the About This Map text at the bottom of the side panel. The web map video is also available to watch at the top of the About This Map page. Now I will illustrate how to access the data download portal, where raw geospatial data can be downloaded to be analyzed in any geospatial analysis software. Navigating back to the web map from the About This Map page, we can easily download the whole data set by selecting the button Download Geodata from the main web map side panel. This will take you to the download portal page where you can select a layer from the web map to download in full. You'll see the three data sets available for download. The first is a grid data set. We can provide data sets as collected during the Nigerian CPOL initiative to download here. The middle button will take you to the remotely mapped cluster layer. Finally, the button at the far right is the Identify Settlement by Satellite Imagery layer, which provides you the settlement data for the entire country. For example, if you select the satellite button, you can then see the relevant layer highlighted on the layer page. You should click again to view the page for that layer. On the main layer page, more information can be seen, again about the data licensing and attributions requirements. There is a button to download the layer. You can choose the data tab and select what download format you would prefer. A range of geospatial formats are available. Thank you very much for listening to these sections of the technical launch. We hope you enjoy the data and tools as provided on the Nigerian CPOL Initiative website.
Hi, my name is Duke Benjamin, and I head the Nigerian Energy Support Program of GIZ. I will now run you through the technical launch of the mini-grid monitor. Afterwards, using one of the existing mini-grids developed under the Nigerian Energy Support Program, I will show you how the Nigeria SE4All web map can be utilized to identify a potential mini-grid location and how the data in the web map can be used to facilitate grid planning to attract investment. So far, as part of the Nigeria SE4All platform, the website, the web map, focus on the project development stage. The mini-grid monitor, however, was developed with a focus on the operational stage. That is to track operational mini-grids. As Nigeria is the leading country in Africa for rural mini-grid development, there is surely a need to transparently show the progress made in the country. Let us now begin with the virtual tour of the Nigeria SE4All mini-grid monitor. For that, we have to explore the public interface. Landing on the page of the Nigeria SE4All, we have to navigate to the mini-grid monitor. In order to do that, we need to scroll down to the bottom of the page until you reach the section Mini-Grid Monitoring Dashboard. You then have to click the Explore Dashboard button to get to the mini-grid monitor sign-in page. Sign-in and accounts are reserved for donors, investors, and mini-grid companies themselves. However, aggregated data and open data is available to the public. To access this data, simply click the yellow button which says Continue as a guest. The dashboard is made of 3 different sections: Portfolio Selection, Overview, and Advanced Analytics. The Advanced Data Access Policy of this platform strictly ensures that the public can only access aggregated data. This ensures sensitive site-level data is not accessible, and specific values cannot be tracked to a particular company or developer. This is why the filters are grayed out for the public version. As you can see, states or locations cannot be filtered, the program cannot be filtered, the connection type, whether it's interconnected or isolated, that's on or off grid, cannot be chosen. Now, on the right corner, top of this dashboard, you see the map, which shows accurate locations of the mini-grids registered on the platform. We are currently working on the second version of the web map, and this second version will integrate these mini-grid locations into the main Nigeria SE for All map. Let's now navigate to the overview section, which gives top-level statistics about operational mini-grids in Nigeria. On the portfolio side, you can see technical information. For example, 818 kilowatt peak installed capacity. You can see the electricity consumed overall. You can see the number of connections or the number of people connected. You can see the number of communities on the platform and the total investment. The spark lines and arrows in the upper right corner give an indication of how the portfolio is performing over time. Navigating to the advanced analytics, under technical information, you can access installed capacity, electricity consumption per year, capacity utilization, and yearly consumption profile. You can as well get information on social aspects, which will give you information on number of connections, for example, the customer satisfaction if you track those, new services available, and employment created. On the financial aspect, the platform gives a good structure on CAPEX and OPEX. So we've calculated the average CAPEX and OPEX costs per connection across all sites. Now, you can see that revenues per year can be divided into residential, productive, or public, for example. Navigating back to the top of the platform, I would now like to show you how the Nigeria SE for All site identification toolkit can be utilized to develop a mini-grid project in Onumona Island. Onumona Island is a site in Cross River which was implemented as part of the first phase of the Nigeria's Energy Support Program. For us to do that, we have to go to project development of a site. So the assumption is that the project developer is looking for a potential mini-grid site location in Nigeria. They come to the Nigeria SE for All platform and navigate to the web map. In this case, we can say that the developer is interested in a particular state, Cross River, maybe because the company head office is situated in Cross River. So hovering over Cross River State, it can be seen that grid data and remotely mapped villages are available for this site, which is very good. Clicking on this state now, Cross River, it will take us to the state view. On the state view, you can see many blue remotely mapped clusters, those blue small dots. So now the project developer can open up the filters of the remotely mapped settlements and select any particular criteria for a mini-grid location. Here we can see that for an ideal mini-grid in Cross River State, the grid should at least be 5 kilometers away from the medium voltage network. An additional criteria will be, for example, have greater than 400 buildings or less than 1,300 buildings to ensure the whole community can be served with a low voltage grid network. Now we can see 21 potential mini-grid locations fitting this criteria in Cross River State. At this stage, the developer may choose to click the download selection button to download the locations for their own analysis. When you download this locations, the GPS coordinates and data from the web map will be given to you in CSV format. This can then be opened in a Microsoft Excel or a GIS program. Returning back to the web map, however, we can now see, if we close back and get back to the web map, the locations of the 21 sites look selected. So the project developer might then decide to quickly see how these look. So you can quickly run through them by clicking the Browse the Settlements box. It will allow you to run through all the settlements very quickly, thereby analyzing these locations and performing necessary site fieldworks. These locations, as you are running through them, you would have the opportunity to see the area in quadrat kilometer. You will see the building count. The example that we are having here is 0.65 quadrat kilometer, building count 632. Build up percentage. A build up percentage, for example, is the density of the houses and then the distance to the grid. Using the GIS software, building footprints can be downloaded for numerical analysis. This means that they can be easily counted and analyzed to better understand the number of connections. So the red dots that you are seeing there are the houses and the buildings. So as you are doing them, you will at the end get the exact count. A grid network can then be drawn as well, which combined with customer site surveys will allow the developer to understand the customer connection potential and better size the system. So the yellow lines that you are seeing now are the grid network that are being drawn. These grid plans and predictions of customer connections are a crucial part of the investment info memos to illustrate to investors that we did the site assessment very well. So returning back to the Umuahia site today, which is an operational mini-grid, we can understand how the Nigeria SE4All platform will help locating and assessing mini-grid sites. Bringing operational data into the Nigeria SE4All platform will close the project development loop, allowing us to monitor the site during the operation, evaluate assumptions made during project development, and use the data to get more accurate projections for upcoming projects. Thank you for listening.